Look at the resonator, not at me. Your eyes belong on the crystal always. If you are watching my face for approval, you are already deaf to the music, and a deaf architect is a corpse waiting for a convenient place to fall over. The first thing you must understand, Numenor, is that this is not magic. Any Nord brute can wave his hands and conjure a frost spell. Any Breton hedge wizard can mutter an incantation to light a candle. That is a crude conversation with the Aetherius. It is begging. We do not beg. We command. We instruct. We are adjusting the fundamental tone of the world itself. The bones of the earth have a song, a deep and grinding hum that has been ringing since creation. We find its pitch. We match it. Then we bend it. This resonator, this beautiful, intricate lattice of dwarven metal and precisely cut ethereal crystal, is our tuning fork. Get it right, and the cavern lights itself. The great pumps draw water from the deep springs. The animunculi stir and patrol the halls, silent and perfect guardians. Get it wrong. Well, get it wrong, and the resonance feedback will turn your bones to jelly and your blood to superheated steam. It is a very tidy death, very efficient. You will be a red mist and a scorch mark before you even realize your mistake. So, watch the crystal. You see the light within it? The faint, pulsing blue? That is its resting state. It is listening. The whole of Mzark Cavernal is built on a nexus of harmonic lines. Think of them as the strings of a god-sized instrument. Our city is the bridge and the nut. When we activate a device like this one, we are plucking a string. The note must be pure. Now place your hands on the twin spheres. Gently. They are not levers to be squeezed. They are extensions of your own senses. Feel the vibration. It is faint, almost non-existent. That is good. It means the system is stable. The last architect who worked in this substation, Doomsbthar, was a competent, if unimaginative man. He left things in order. The primary pump for the Western Aqueduct is running at 97% efficiency. A memo from the council states this is an unacceptable deviation. They want it at 103%. A meaningless sliver of performance, but the council has spoken. Our task is to apply a minor harmonic adjustment to the main flow conduit. We are not composing a symphony today, Numenor. We are tightening a single lute string. The procedure is, in theory, simple. I will talk you through the sequence. You will perform the actions. Even if at any point the vibration in the spheres changes from a low hum to a high-pitched whine, you will remove your hands and step back exactly 3 paces. Do you understand? Good. Now the first key. Turn it, a quarter turn clockwise. Slowly, listen with your hands. The hum changes. Did you feel it? It dropped in pitch. It became thicker somehow. That is the sound of the primary gate opening. We are now directly connected to the main tonal artery of this entire sector. The power flowing through this room could animate 1,000 centurions. It could melt this entire mountain into slag. It is a river of pure creation, and you are standing on the bank with a bucket. It is vital you do not fall in. The art is not in the turning of keys. Any fool can turn a key. The art is in the listening. The listening is everything. Young Endrast, from Bethardams, he was a prodigy. He could sense fractional dissonances by taste. He claimed he could smell the color of a sound. He was brilliant, and he is dead. He was working on a minor lighting array, a task even simpler than this one. He grew confident, arrogant. He stopped listening with his hands and started listening with his pride. He tried to push a resonance frequency past its stable limit, convinced he could create a purer form of light. The crystal did not explode. The room did not catch fire. Endrast simply came apart. The tones that held his physical form together were canceled out by the tone he created. He collapsed into a puddle of warm gray slurry. His robes were perfectly intact. His assistant said it was the most horrifying thing he had ever seen. Not the collapse itself, but the utter lack of sound it made. One moment a man, the next a spill. That is what happens when you stop listening. The music is not your friend. It is not a benevolent force. It is a fundamental law of the universe, as impersonal as gravity. It does not care about your intentions. It only cares about pitch. Now observe the gauges to your left, the copper needles. The top one measures ambient resonance. It should be steady. The bottom one measures flow pressure. As you turned the key, it should have risen slightly. Is that what you see? Good. You are not just turning keys, Numenar. You are in dialogue with the machine. It tells you what it is doing. You must learn its language. It is a language of vibrations, of pressures, of light. There are no words. Words are for politicians and poets. They are imprecise things, full of lies and misunderstandings. The music is always true. The next sequence requires two actions performed simultaneously. You will engage the secondary focusing lens with your right hand, while adjusting the amplitude with your left. The timing is critical. If you engage the lens first, you will send a raw, unfocused pulse down the conduit that could crack the aqueduct wall. If you adjust the amplitude first, the back pressure will shatter this focusing crystal. The cost of a new one would come from your stipend for the next 50 years. They must happen in the same instant, a single fluid motion. I have seen apprentices practice this for months with a dummy console. We do not have that luxury. The council wants its 3%. So you will do it now. Place your hands. Feel the rhythm of the machine, the deep, slow pulse. 1, 2, 3. Now. Excellent. Your movements are clumsy. You have the grace of a startled skeever, but your timing was perfect. I can teach you grace. I cannot teach you instinct. Look at the crystal. The blue light has intensified. It is a sharp, clean sapphire now. It hums with a steady, confident note. Can you feel it in your teeth? That is the feeling of 100,000 gallons of water per second, flowing silently through stone channels 3 levels above our heads. It is the lifeblood of the city. Without it, the forges go cold, the hydroponic farms wither, the great brass gates seize up with rust. All of it, everything we are, depends on this hum, on this precise, controlled application of a fundamental truth. The betrayed, the falmer, they create a dissonance. Their pain, their blind, shrieking rage, it is a sound, a useless, a chaotic sound that sometimes interferes with the lesser conduits. Their screams are a form of static. We have to build dampening fields around their pens just to keep the noise from affecting the sensitive machinery. That is the difference between them and us. They scream at the dark. We give it a name and a number, and we build a machine to make it sing our song. Now the final adjustment. This is the most delicate part. We are not turning a key. We are sliding a damper. A movement of a hair's breadth is the difference between success and catastrophic failure. You will move the slide no more than the width of a fingernail. The goal is to narrow the harmonic beam, to increase its intensity without increasing its volume. Think of it like turning a floodlight into a focused point of light. The energy is the same, but the application is more precise. Before you do, consider this. The great architect Kagranak, the visionary, he is not working on aqueducts. He is working on the first heart. He believes he can apply these same principles to the very core of a dead god. He seeks to build a new god of brass, powered by a divine heart, tuned to a song of our own making. He is the greatest of us, and I believe he is utterly, catastrophically mad. He is Endrast on a scale that could unmake the world. He is so focused on the symphony he wants to create that he has stopped listening to the music that already exists. He hears only his own ambition. It is a deafening sound. I tell you this because you need to understand the scope of our work, the power we command, the responsibility we bear. We are not merely engineers, we are the custodians of reality. A flaw in our calculations, a moment of inattention, and the consequences are not a broken pipe or a flickering lamp. The consequences are fundamental. So take a breath, clear your mind of councils and mad architects. There is only you, the machine, and the music. Place your finger on the slide. Feel the resonance. Push. There, it is done. Watch the top gauge. The needle is quivering. It is settling on a new frequency. The light in the crystal is now a brilliant, piercing white. The hum is so pure it is almost silent. It has moved to the edge of our hearing. That is the pitch of perfect efficiency. 100%. The council will have their water. We have for a time imposed our will upon the world. It is a good feeling. It is a dangerous feeling. Never forget that. The work is not done when the machine is running perfectly, and the work is never done. We must now observe. We will remain here for at least an hour to ensure the new resonance is stable. Sometimes the earth bones push back. The part of this work that no one speaks of, Numenar, the part they do not write in the schematics or teach in the academies, is the source of the resonance itself. They tell you it is in the earth. This is true, but incomplete. A tone requires a source, an origin point for the vibration. For our great machines, for the animunculi, for the very lights in our cities, the tone is not drawn from stone or metal alone. It requires a focal point. Something to anchor the music, to give it shape. The crystals we use, the large, perfect ones like the one before you, are ethereal fragments. They fell from the sky. They already contain a faint music of their own, the echo of creation. We amplify that echo. That is the clean, acceptable version of our craft. That is what powers the aqueduct. But it is not the only way. It is not the most powerful way. For matters of greater import, for the deep forges, for the defenses of the city, for the heart of a centurion, an ethereal crystal is not enough. The echo is too faint. We need a stronger one, a more recent one. We need a soul lens. Do not look so horrified. It is a matter of pure science. Every living thing possesses a spiritual resonance, an animus. When it dies, that resonance does not simply vanish. It dissipates. It fades back into the ethereous, like a note fading into silence. But for a short time, it leaves an echo, a harmonic ghost. If you can capture that echo, if you can trap it within a prepared medium, you can use it, you can tune it. A soul is the most perfect resonator imaginable. It contains a complex and powerful song. We do not do this. Not here. This is maintenance, but you must know that it is done. The wardens of the city, the great constructs that stand guard at the gates, their focusing crystals are not ethereal. They are built around the echoes of our greatest warriors, voluntarily given upon their death. It is considered an honor to have your song become the eternal guardian of your home. But the practice has a darker side, the betrayed, the falmer. Their souls sing a song of pain. It is a discordant, chaotic tune, but it is very, very strong. There are those in other cities who believe that any resonance is useful resonance. They do not care if the note is pure, only that it is loud. They have experimented, and they have built engines powered by screams. They have forged weapons that sing with the echoes of agony. It is not forbidden by our laws. Our laws are concerned with logic and reason, not with sentiment. By a purely logical standpoint, a soul is a source of energy. To not use it is wasteful. I do not agree. I believe that the nature of the song matters. A machine powered by a song of joy and honor will be strong and reliable. A machine powered by a song of misery will be unpredictable. It will break down. It will turn on its masters. The dissonance will eventually overwhelm the design. The music must be true. A lie, even a loud and powerful one, is still a lie. It cannot hold forever. This is the great debate of our age, Numenor. This is the schism that will define our future. Are we masters of the music, or are we merely its conductors? Do we write the symphony, or do we simply play the notes that are already there? Cagrenac and his followers, they believe we are the composers. They see the heart of Lorcan not as a source of music, but as an instrument to be played, an instrument of infinite power. They are building the tools to play it now. Sunder, Keening, Wraithguard, tools to strike a divine chord. They are trying to tune a god to their own frequency, to make it sing a song of the Dwemer. I believe this is the ultimate blasphemy, not against the gods, for I believe in none. It is a blasphemy against the music itself. It is the act of a deaf man trying to conduct an orchestra. He can wave the baton, he can make a great show, but he cannot hear the sour notes. He cannot hear the disharmony he is creating, and I fear the final chord of his symphony will be silence, a sudden, complete, and eternal silence. That is why our work here is important. That is why the 3% matters. It is an argument. It is a statement. We, here in Mzark Cavernal, we practice the art as it was meant to be. We are listeners. We are caretakers. We seek to maintain the balance, not shatter it for our own glory. Every stable conduit, every perfectly humming animunculus, every lit corridor is a vote for sanity, a vote for caution. We prove that power does not need to be stolen from the gods. It can be found in the earth beneath our feet if we only have the patience to listen. So know this. When you adjust a resonator, you are not just fixing a pump. You are casting a vote in the greatest debate of our time. You are choosing a side. Choose wisely. Your choice may not just determine whether you dissolve into slurry. It may determine the fate of our entire people. Now check the gauges again. Everything is stable. The needles are not wavering. The light is pure. The work is good. We will pack the tools and... Wait. What is that? Feel the spheres, Numenor. Now, there is another vibration, a tremor. It is not from the machine. It is coming from the rock, from the foundations of the city. Damn it, it is faint, but it is there. A deep, discordant pulse. It is wrong. It is a sour note in the deep music. The council must be alerted. This is not a mechanical failure. This is a geological... No. It is too regular. It is a pattern. Shore's bones. It is a signal. Someone is broadcasting a powerful raw tone through the deep rock. A tone of that magnitude, without a proper resonator to shape it. It is like shouting in a library. It is brute force. It is Cagrenac. It has to be. He is testing something. He is plucking the strings with a hammer. Stay calm. Do not touch the controls. The system is stable. It is designed to filter out ambient dissonance, but this is not ambient. This is directed. He is shaking the very bones of the earth we are trying to tune. That arrogant bastard. He is going to bring the whole mountain down around us. The hum in the resonator is faltering. Look at the crystal. The light is flickering, shifting from white to a muddy yellow. The machine is trying to compensate. It is fighting to hold its note against the intrusive one. The sphere, they are growing warm. The vibration is getting stronger. It is moving from a hum to a growl. This is bad, Numenor. Aye, this is very bad. The needles on the gauges are starting to twitch. Wildly, the flow pressure is fluctuating. Gods, if this hits the aqueduct, the pressure variations could cause a rupture, a cascade failure that would flood this entire sector in minutes. Cagrenac, in his quest to touch a god, is going to drown us for a footnote in his research. I am going to have to perform a manual override. I need to decouple us from the main conduit. It is dangerous. The energy release will be significant. I need you to listen to me very carefully. I am going to open the primary coolant valve. It will flood the resonance chamber with inert gas. It should dampen the reaction. At the same time, I will have to sever the connection. There will be a pulse, a wave of pure kinetic force. You must brace yourself. Get behind the main pillar. Now. Do not argue. Go! The growl is getting louder. The metal of the console is groaning under the strain. I can see stress fractures forming along the crystal's housing. It is not going to hold. Kagranak, you fool! You self-important, glorified musician! You are deaf. You are deaf. I am opening the valve. The hiss of the gas is a welcome sound, but the vibration is still building. The floor is shaking. The light in the crystal is a furious, sickly orange. It is screaming. I can hear it in my skull. A sound like tearing metal and breaking glass. It is the sound of a law of physics being broken. I have to sever the link. Numenor, stay down. It was a mistake to let you touch the controls. You were distracted. You were thinking about gods and souls and the fate of our people. You stopped listening to the music. Your final adjustment, so you pushed it too far. Just a hair's breadth. But in our work, a hair's breadth is a chasm. When Kagranak's broadcast hit us, our system was not just stable. It was tuned to its absolute peak. To the breaking point. You sharpened the blade and he provided the stone. The resonance feedback is not just from his signal, it is ours. We are amplifying it. We created a perfect mirror for his madness. The console is starting to melt. The spheres are glowing cherry red. I cannot touch them now. There is no manual override. There is no decoupling. We are locked in a feedback loop. The sound is, do not move, do not breathe. That was my first instruction to you. It is also my last. The crystal is about to shatter. It will not be a tidy death. I had to shove you, I am sorry for that. The force of it. Your head hit the pillar. You are unconscious. That is a mercy. You will not see this. The console exploded, not in fire but in sound. A wave of pure force, a silent scream that turned the metal housing into shrapnel. I was thrown back against the far wall. My ears are bleeding. My vision is a blurry mess, swimming with black spots. But I am alive. The resonator is destroyed. The crystal is a cloud of glittering dust. The room is a wreck, twisted metal, shattered gauges. The deep, grinding hum of Kagranak's experiment is gone. The connection was severed, violently. I am pushing myself up. Every joint aches. My ribs feel cracked. The air smells of ozone and molten metal. It is quiet, the oppressive, humming silence of a dead machine. The lights are out. The only illumination comes from the emergency power runes casting a red glow over the devastation. You are still unconscious, slumped at the base of the pillar. There is blood matting your hair, a shallow cut. You will live. You will have a headache to rival the might of a giant. You will likely never be able to hear a high C again without flinching. But you will live. I am walking over to you, my legs are shaking. It is not fear, it is the aftershock. My whole body feels like a bell that has just been struck. I check your pulse. It is steady. Good. The room is a catastrophe. The main conduit is cracked. Coolant is dripping from the ceiling, forming a slick, rainbow-sheened puddle on the floor. It will take weeks to repair. We will need a new resonator, new focusing lenses, a new control console. The council will not be pleased. Their 3% will have to wait. I look at the ruin of my workshop, on the work of a lifetime nearly undone in a moment, by my own apprentice, by my own failure to properly supervise him, and by the arrogance of a man 1,000 miles away who does not care who he kills in his pursuit of knowledge. It was not your fault, not entirely. I should not have spoken of Kagranak. I should not have burdened you with the politics and the philosophy of our work. I let the dissonance of the world into this room, a room that should have been dedicated only to the purity of the music. I distracted you. And in our profession, distraction is a death sentence. I will have to carry you back to the infirmary. I will have to write a report. I will lie. I will say there was a power surge from the main grid, that the resonator failed due to a flaw in its casting. I will not mention your mistake. I will not mention Kagranak. It is simpler this way. Doomsbthar's record of competence will be transferred to me. He was tidy, I am not. The failure was mine. The responsibility of the teacher is to protect the student even from himself. I failed. I saw your talent, your instinct, but I forgot to account for your youth. You have the hands of an architect, but you still have the mind of a poet. You hear the beauty of the music, but you do not yet respect its power. Today, you learned that respect. It was a harsh lesson. I am sorry that I was the one who had to teach it. I am sitting here in the red gloom next to your still form. The silence is profound. For the first time in years, I cannot feel the hum of the city in my bones. It feels wrong, like a body without a heartbeat. We have cut this sector off from the music. We are adrift. The work will be difficult, because we will have to rebuild from the ground up. But we will do it. We will restore the hum. We will make the aqueduct flow. We will bring the light back, because that is what we do. We are architects. We build, we maintain, we listen, and when there is silence, we fill it with a song of our own making. I look at the glittering dust of the ethereal crystal scattered across the floor like fallen stars. Such a beautiful, powerful thing. Reduced to nothing. It is a reminder. Everything can be broken. Every song can be silenced. The trick is to know how to start it again. It is time to go. I will lift you now. You are lighter than you look. The path back will be dark. But I know the way. I have walked these halls my entire life. I do not need the lights. I can feel the path in the stone. I can hear the echoes in the silence. The city is waiting for its music to return. And we, you and I, we are the ones who will give it back. We have no other choice. The report to the council was difficult. I stood before them in the great hall, the 7 of them looking down from their carved stone chairs. Their faces were impassive, as always. They are old, all of them. They have seen apprentices come and go. They have seen resonators fail. They value stability above all else. My report was a model of technical language. I spoke of harmonic fatigue, of microfractures in the crystal lattice, of an unforeseen resonance cascade. I used all the right words. I built them a fortress of jargon to hide behind. They did not question it. To question it would be to admit that our own systems, our own people could be flawed. That was a dissonance they could not tolerate. And they assigned me a new budget, a generous one. They want the sector back online within the month. They spoke of production quotas and defensive readiness. They did not speak of you, Numenor. They did not ask if you were well. In their eyes, you are a component, a faulty one temporarily taken offline for repair. You have been in the infirmary for 3 days. The healers say the concussion was minor. The bleeding has stopped. You wake from time to time. You murmur about the music, about a sound that has no name. They say you will make a full recovery. I am not so sure. A physical wound is easy to mend, a psychic one. A wound made of sound. That is another matter. An architect who is afraid of the music is of no use to anyone. I visit you in the evenings. I sit by your bed. The infirmary is one of the few places in the city that is truly quiet. The walls are lined with sound-dampening panels. It is a place of rest, a place where the endless hum of the machinery fades to a distant murmur. I find I hate it. The silence feels like a sickness. It feels like an absence, like death. I have started the work of clearing the substation. I do it myself. I carry out the twisted panels of metal. I sweep up the crystal dust. I catalog what can be salvaged. Very little. The destruction was comprehensive. It was a clean slate, an opportunity. Doomsbthar's design was efficient, but it was rigid. It had no tolerance for deviation. No fail-safes. He assumed the music would always be pure. He did not account for the possibility of a madman shouting into the void. My new design will be different. It will be more complex. In it will have redundancies, circuit breakers, dampening fields that can be actively tuned to filter out hostile frequencies. It will be a machine that can listen for lies. It will be a machine that can survive Kagrenak. This is my new purpose. It is not about the 3% anymore. It is not about the council's quotas. It is about survival. Kagrenak is a storm on the horizon, a hurricane of ambition and hubris, and the rest of us, we are living in houses of brass and stone, pretending the wind will not blow. I will build a storm cellar. I will reinforce the foundations. I will teach a new generation of architects to fear the storm. You are my first student in this new school. When you are well, your training will begin again. Not with the grand theories or the complex harmonics. We will start with the basics. With the metal, and with the forge. You will learn to shape the brass with your own hands. You will learn the feel of it, the weight of it. You will learn its song. You will not touch a resonator again until you understand in your bones the vessel that contains the music. You will learn humility. You will learn patience. Or you will be sent to the hydroponic farms to tend the fungi. There is no middle ground, not anymore. I found something while clearing the rubble, a small fused lump of metal and glass. It was part of the central console. As I was about to discard it, I felt a faint vibration, a tiny rhythmic pulse. It was not the hum of the city, it was something else. I took it back to my personal workshop. I placed it in a diagnostic field and I listened. It was an echo, a recording. The crystal, in its final moments, it had imprinted the catastrophic resonance pattern onto the molten metal. It was a perfect snapshot of the sound that almost killed us. The sound of Kagrenak's broadcast intertwined with the sound of our own amplified resonance. It is the most dangerous sound I have ever heard. It is a blueprint for destruction, and I have the only copy. I should destroy it. It is an artifact of failure. It is a weapon that could be used to shatter our entire city. But I cannot bring myself to do it. I am a scientist, a scholar. To destroy data, any data, feels like a sin. So I have secured it. I have placed it in a null field container. It sits on my workbench, a silent, ugly lump of metal, a reminder, a warning. Perhaps one day I will understand it. Perhaps I can dissect it, isolate Kagrenak's frequency, learn to predict it, learn to counter it. Even in this lump of wreckage, there may be the key to our salvation. Or perhaps I am just another fool like Endrast, captivated by a beautiful, deadly sound. Perhaps I am becoming the very thing I despise. An architect who listens not to the music of the world, but to the song of his own obsession. The line between genius and madness is a single, perfectly balanced tone, and I fear I am starting to waver. When you wake, you will find me here, in my workshop. I will be working. The work is all there is. It is the only thing that makes sense. It is the only thing that can keep the silence at bay. We have a city to rebuild, and a storm to prepare for. The work, it is all we have. Always have a grounding rod within arm's reach. Always.